One of the big questions going around in Sister Wives discussion spaces right now is, will season 18 include Kody Brown trying to find a new wife? And I think that's a good question because we know that the religion that brought their family together originally really encourages men to have a lot of wives. And right now, Kody Brown does not have a lot of wives. Personally, I don't think he wants a new wife. I think he's exhausted of the ones he has. I think he's overwhelmed by the family that he has. And I think in a lot of ways, he's not capable of managing more than what is in front of him right now. I think that exhaustion and overwhelm shows up throughout season 17 and also definitely within season 17, episode 14. Before we get too far into this discussion, I do want to make sure that you know this video is just going to focus on the second half of season 17, episode 14. I have another video where we talk about the first half. And I think that one's kind of interesting because we're looking at Robyn trying to assert herself as the boss of the family. And it's funny because Janelle just rejects Robyn as the boss time and time again. And make sure you check out that video after this one. But for now, yeah, let's discuss Kody Brown and whether or not he is showing us signs that he's over all of this. To begin with, we do have to acknowledge some of the stuff that we know is true about Kody Brown because it is possible. After this whole video, after we have this great discussion, I hope it's a great discussion about what Kody's going through, it's possible that he will take on another wife because some things we know for sure about Kody Brown. He likes the attention of being on the show. He likes making up stories and drama so that the show will continue. He likes the platform. I know he likes the income. And so, yeah, I think it's possible for those reasons that he would want to pursue another marriage. But if we look at like what he's actually doing and what he's saying, it seems like, man, he is over this and he knows he can't handle this. One way that I feel comfortable saying that he knows he can't handle this is from this cameo that exists on it's currently on his Cameo profile page. I want to share it with you.
Well, it's Kody Brown from Sister Wives. I think your questions are interesting about how to run a family, how to raise kids. Yeah. I don't do that great a job, I don't think. So I'm not the greatest parent. All of us have a habit of putting forward something a little bit fake, a little bit not us. So I guess my best advice I could give you is to teach your children to be completely honest, completely real about who they are. Don't fake it. You know, there's this phrase, fake it till you make it. That's usually about success, but don't fake it. Be who you are and strive to be better. Pursue excellence. Always pursuing peace to you. I hope you have a great day.
Okay, the first time I watched that video, I was like, am I feeling bad for Kody Brown? What's going on with me? But I felt bad for him. I know parenting, family stuff, it's hard, it's complicated. He's got a lot of people to deal with and it's like not going well for him. But then I remembered, okay, Kody Brown chose this. He was not raised in polygamy. He was 19, 20 some years old. His father decided to join this religion and then Kody followed him. Oh, that's interesting. Is there a lesson about loyalty to one's father in there? Is that a message here? I don't know. We'll have to think about that later. But for now, we know Kody was not raised in this. And for whatever reason, he chose to become a polygamist. And through his choice now, he has a lot of kids. He has a lot of grandkids. He has a lot of wives, ex-wives, who are looking to him and who need him to get it together. And just as the episodes progress, I'm losing faith that he can get it together. And in that regard, how could he stop getting it together and then still also bring in another wife? Doesn't that sound like a recipe for disaster? Let's look at how that shows up in this episode. The second half of this episode is divided into 3 scenes. And in the first one, Kody is going to Janelle's new apartment. Janelle has decided that the RV isn't going to work for the winter months. I mean, she has no electricity, plumbing, yeah, that makes sense. So she's going to live in this apartment. In her interview, she acknowledges this is not a great apartment. She knows Kody's not going to like it, and she did it anyway. Kody walks in, and yeah, that's exactly how he feels. He does not like it. I don't think he says that explicitly in the apartment, but in his interviews, he definitely says it. And just as you watch him walk around in the apartment, it's clear that he feels uncomfortable. And he does not feel good about the possibility of him living there. They don't show us the whole apartment. But what they do show us is clear. It's a small space. And it's got a lot of stuff. And I'm sure as Kody is walking through there, he's thinking, all those boxes in Robyn's basement are going to have to stay in the basement because there's no room in Janelle's apartment to bring those boxes. Really though, what's like interesting in watching this scene is like, you remember for most of season 17, Kody and Janelle have really been going back and forth, arguing, disagreeing about what Janelle's housing situation is going to be. And here's another moment where they're like on opposite ends of this experience of her housing, and Kody is just, he just seems like resigned to the truth of it. He's resigned to the reality of it, like, this is where Janelle is. And all that fighting and chaos and be more creative, make terrible financial decisions, buy Christine's house, all of that is gone. He's just tired. That's how I read that scene. He was just tired, kind of like he knew that it was over, that it was decided, that Janelle was moving forward without him. I think in some ways, Cody's exhaustion shows up in him not being able to put together a plan. And the thing is, his wives and his children need the plan. And if he can't come up with it, then they're going to come up with it on their own. And I felt like him walking in that apartment, it's like he realized he didn't come up with a plan. Janelle had to do it by herself. And I think a part of me feels like Cody's embarrassed by that. That's what I think. As a man who would take on this many wives and have this many children and demands for patriarchy, he wants to be the one that comes up with the plan. And once again, he walks into that apartment and it's like, he couldn't come up with the plan and she had to do it without him. In the next scene, we do get a break from Kody and his exhaustion and overwhelm because we get to go to Utah and see Christine at her new house. Of course, the sun is shining. It's a beautiful day. Christine's having a barbecue in the backyard with her kids. She talks about spending time with her mother and her father and her sisters and like being surrounded by love. That's amazing. I know we've had conversations and comments on different videos that like, once these women leave Kody, they just glow. They're happy and they seem just content and joyful. It's amazing. And that's what we saw. The only like gloom and doom in Christine's segment was when she had to talk about her experience in Flagstaff and how just oppressive it felt for her to go back there. And I get it. It seems very oppressive to live under the rule of a man who doesn't love you. In the last segment, this is where I really felt like Kody he's just over this. I think he's just over all of this. He doesn't want to do any of this anymore. That's what I think. So they're all at Robyn's house. Kody, Mary, Janelle, and Robyn, they're all there. Mary tells us that they're all there because they're talking about their plans for the holidays. I guess Thanksgiving is in a couple of weeks. And Janelle starts him off. She says that she's going to North Carolina for Thanksgiving and she'll be home for Christmas there in Flagstaff. And because she's in this small apartment, you know, she can't host her kids in her apartment. So they've rented like a vacation rental somewhere in the area, in or around Flagstaff. And it should be fun. They're going to be there all together. Kody, of course, does not think that's going to be fun. He gets really upset. And then Janelle, I guess, can't help herself. She said, well, I'm being honest, I'm going to just share it all. Christine is coming into town. She's also going to be staying at that vacation rental, and she's bringing Truly and Isabel with her, her two daughters. That's good, right? No. Kody gets very upset. He says this is a betrayal and that he knew this was going to happen if Christine left him. And it's kind of like, what? What? And that's what Janelle says. What? What's the betrayal here, Kody? Your ex-wife is bringing two of your children to you to spend the holidays near you. How is that a betrayal? And Kody is just like flabbergasted. Like, to me, it was like he didn't know what to say. And it got so bad and so I think confusing in his own head that he ends up looking to Mary and Robyn, who are sitting there like statues. He asks them, am I wrong? Does this seem like a betrayal to you? And it's silent for a moment. I think it was Robyn who was like, well, what exactly do you want us to comment on? So Janelle and Kody end up going back and forth a while. I felt like they did that like the whole scene. It was in and out. Janelle is saying, well, Kody, they are renting this place because you said they have to apologize and do all this that they're not going to do if they want to spend Christmas with you. And Cody's saying, no, I didn't say that. Yes, I did say that, but I changed my mind. Anyway, it goes back and forth and it's chaotic and it stays unresolved for a long time. To me, this is a sign that Kody is really struggling. He's not able to pull himself out of the chaos to see like a bigger picture, which is so funny because he always talked about he's the only one who has to see the bigger picture. None of his wives are like helping to carry this bigger picture with him. Yet I feel like in this moment, he is really lacking that. And progressively through the episodes, it's like he can't take himself out of the chaos enough to see, you know what? I need to fix this with my boys so that I can spend Christmas with my wife. Like just all this stuff, all the workings that a solid leader would do. Eventually, Janelle sees like this chaos is going unresolved. Kody is basically having a tantrum. Kind of in her calm, stable way, she says, you know, Kody, maybe you and your kids need to do therapy together, get some counseling, because I, Janelle, don't want to be in the middle of this. This is affecting my relationship with you. And I think that's a great thing for her to say, especially because this family has had counseling before. It's something that they're used to, and it's something that they seem comfortable with. But interestingly, Kody says, well, I don't think it's fair that the boys get to pick and choose who they're going to be around, and I don't get to do that. I think it's weird. I think he even says that. I think it's weird. That was such a strange response to this idea of counseling. But to me, it's like, yeah, Kody is just overwhelmed by this. He doesn't know when to let things go. He doesn't know when to pick them up. He is struggling. He is struggling. Also, of course, it's weird because, yeah, Kody, you do pick and choose who you hang out with. And two, what kind of father wants to have the right to pick and choose who to hang out with and who not to hang out with when you're considering these are your wives and your kids? Why would you choose to not hang out with them? Like I said in the beginning, I think that Kody Brown is not in a state to bring in more wives. If he does do it, it's totally for the show, and I feel bad for that woman. I feel bad for the whole family. My hope is that he doesn't do it because to me, he seems so overwhelmed, so stressed. He cannot maintain like a thoughtful, logical argument with his family. He can't have disagreements with them. I know you remember like when Janelle says, you're my best friend, when Janelle and him are talking about buying Christine's house. There are these moments where someone is talking to him in a space that they believe to be true, and Kody is speechless. It's like he cannot actually interact with fact right now. He cannot interact with logic or history. Like, he's struggling. He is struggling. And I just hope, I hope he doesn't bring in any more wives. I hope that's not a part of season 18. I think that will be disastrous. I think it will drive him bonkers. And I just don't hope that for any of them. Okay, so let me know, what do you think? Is that going to be a part of season 18? Should I just brace myself for the stress of watching Kody Brown try to court somebody else? Yikes. All right, let me know that in the comments. And if we don't meet in the comments, then let's definitely plan to meet here again, because the Browns always have something going on and there's plenty for us to talk about. All right, so take care.